Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Malabite Ifeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
I was judged yesterday. I hope the offertory was quite...
You're always interested in offertory and tithes. That's why you are not serious with church matters.
No, I am, on the contrary.
Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Well, Ekpele Chelsea, as they say in Ogun State.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Good
one
morning,
of those things.
Victoria Tundu, MK Abiola.
Morning, Mr.
Amotekun, is that what I'm saying?
That is exactly what you're saying. You know I'm a supporter of Amotekun. You know that.
Yes. Let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story, 8 southern states set to enact anti-open grazing law. Ekiti, Abia, Ebonyi, Oyo, Bayelsa face implementation challenges. Southern speakers, Ohaneze, back 17 governors' resolution. Now, among those states that are set to enact the laws include Akwa Ibom, Ondo, Enugu, Edo, Imo, Ogun, Delta, and Anambra. Of course, only last week, the local government chairman in Delta State met in Warri, where else, and they resolved that they are going to enforce the ban on open grazing in Delta State. About time. Now, the Sun newspaper also has similar story. Open grazing ban orders Southern speakers back governors. Governor's decision irrevocable, says Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. Ban won't work. Northern group. Now, of course, as the Sun columnist Amanze Obi described this is the low-hanging fruit from the Asaba Declaration, because it is clearly within the purview and powers of the governors to do. So we expect to see action. Now, we move on to other stories. The Vanguard newspaper. Insecurity, military needs new weapons training. Says he advises federal government, but doesn't make noise about it. IBB wasting his time advising Buhari Afenifere. We are behind IBB on this. ACF, the Arewa Consultative Forum. No amount of weapons without review of security infrastructure can resolve insecurity. Ohaneze. IBB score. Good, but not new. Can. Don't ignore IBB. Northern Elders Forum. Yes, former military president Ibrahim Babangida wading into the situation of insecurity in the country. Well, he said he had been advising President Muhammadu Buhari quietly, without really making noise about it. It's not about the quantum of advice we give this president. We want to see action. I thought it was a no-brainer that we need modern weaponry. And what have we been doing with all the monies allocated, budgeted for defense? Buying obsolete weapons? I'm asking, maybe rhetorically. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, provide trained soldiers with modern weapons, the same IBB story. Now, the Daily Times of Nigeria newspaper, Babangida Jonathan, tasked Buhari, others on governance insurgency. The Daily Trust newspaper, persecuted at home, Igbo Muslims troop to North for succor. More in North at present than in entire East. Marginalized in civil service, political appointment. Many practice Islam secretly. There are no discriminations. Imo, Enugu governments. Now, to say that there are more Muslims in the North than in the entire East, I don't know who took that census, but that is the story. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria is the Guardian newspaper, 120 billion naira petrol subsidy to double as CBN adjusts exchange rate. Nigeria losing 73.6 billion monthly to high consumption claims despite work from home practice. Subsidy difficult to police poses major corruption risk, says the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Deregulation, a hard choice amid inflation, pandemic, electricity tariff. Now, with the central bank, according to the Guardian newspaper, the Central Bank of Nigeria signals subtle harmonization of exchange rates with the removal of 379 naira to the dollar from its website. All is set for labor unions to lock horns with the federal government on petrol subsidy removal, where the negotiations between labor and government has been on for some time. I don't know how long it will take. They keep on pushing the removal of subsidy dates, but again, something has to give at one point. While the News Direct newspaper, liquidity squeeze, banks, others borrow 4.4 trillion from the central bank. Now, in Abuja, the Abuja Inquirer, looking at what is happening in neighboring Kaduna State. Abuja Inquirer, Kaduna government, labor clash. Residents panic, seek truce, no going back on strike, labor. Blackout, water supply, scarcity loom. Step foot in Kaduna and be arrested. State government wants WABA. That's the NLC president. Now, if we look at the foreign newspapers quickly, in Britain today, there will be relaxation of part of the COVID restriction. People, of course, but the Guardian newspaper of UK is Britain opens up, but experts wants public to stick to meeting outdoors. People should ignore today's easing of lockdown and avoid socializing indoors in pubs and restaurants. Experts are warning, not time to get loose. While the Daily Mail, in fact, the Prime Minister, going by the Daily Mail, don't blow it, Britain. Boris Johnson urged families to adopt what he called a heavy dose of caution, with a ban on indoor socializing ending today. While, of course, the New York Times, what is happening in Gaza, deadliest day yet in Gaza as efforts at ceasefire fail. Airstrike kills at least 42. Netanyahu vows to use full force. What is he using already? Full force on Hamas. Diplomats and international leaders fail over the weekend to broker a truce as rockets fly, jets pound Gaza. Now, for Netanyahu, war crimes can be charged against him, but Israel seems to be above the law.
Oh, yeah.
Because over the weekend, where Al Jazeera and AP were broadcasting from was bombed by the Israelis. And if that is not war crime, of course, a family of 29 flattened in one of these attacks over the weekend. Rufa, Ruben, and Tundu.
As usual and as always, I don't want to, because we'll not have time to talk about Israel and Palestine, but everybody knows what they're doing. We all know how the world takes the side of Israel in this, but justice has to be done when you look at it one way or the other. We all know what caused the Palestinian dispute, but there is no time to talk about all of that.
I hope maybe we'll get a chance some other day to talk about it. For me, the big story is front page New Telegraph saying that Nigeria risks anarchy if insecurity stops polls in 2023.
Yes.
And I've seen about 3 stories along that line today in the papers. Enact has said elections will commence February 18, 2023. Would those elections be able to hold with the level of insecurity in the country? That's a major issue that we may need to focus on at some point.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for your views.